Hey, we are live. I believe, I believe I can live. Huh. I believe I can YouTube live. Oh, oh, oh. No, we don't want to stop streaming. I don't even know what happened. Holy cow. Ow, ow, ow. My goodness. I got the crankbait falling in my hand. I am having a hard time getting organized tonight, guys. That is a typical train wreck way to start for me. That just, that's kind of normal. I wouldn't really expect anything else from myself other than a disaster. Just like that. Start off with a crankbait hanging from the hat. Then we get it in our hand as we drop the phone to get it started. We'll give you guys a couple minutes to get in here. Hey, we keep getting asked every week. We always get, seems like we get asked a lot to recap the top five. So we're going to kind of talk about some other stuff first, and then we'll go into the top five. Man, we got a lot of folks here. Jordan Spalding, Todd's in here, JD, Brian Howell, Crappyitis, Sean Allen, Michael Chisholm, RTC, Michael Bray, how you doing up there in Arkansas? I ain't heard from you in a while, buddy. I ain't heard from you in a while. I know weather canceled our trip back in, I think it was April or May. We need to get back together, my man. Marcus Fowler, my Van hometown fellow Vandal, checking in tonight. Rob's World, Kaysen, Cody Metz, Big John, Ronnie Miller, Derek Peterson, ZZ Tank, and Andy Fulton. I think I've caught up with everyone that's checked in so far. If I did not, if I missed you, I terribly apologize for that, or I wonderfully apologize. I don't know how I apologize. You tell me how my apology is. But either way, I apologize. If you like this hat, let me know what you think. You like that hat right there? We're going to have this on the next ones. We're going to have this darker so you can actually see it. But that's a Fish Life logo right there on the side as well. I think I found a way to get some of these hats at an affordable price where, I would like to be able to sell them cheaper, but we should be able to sell them for somewhere around the $20 range. So if you would be in on buying a hat like this for 20 bucks, let me know. How many of you guys respond positively to that right now is going to determine whether or not we put these up for sale. So if you guys are interested in getting you one of these Richardson hats like this right here with the Year Lake Fort Guy logo on it, let me know. I'm in. That's cheap. Hey, I'm in on that. Hey, it's looking good so far. We get a few more, we're going to be ordering up some hats. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. Hey, can't thank you guys enough for all the support that you always do give us, whether it's the hats, watching the videos, booking the guide trips, whatever it may be. We really appreciate it. It's been kind of tough since the Sealy tournament. I'm not going to lie. Last week, the fish really kind of scattered. They're starting to get kind of... So, time out. Reverse. Let's go back a little bit. Leading up to the Sealy Outdoor Tournament, which was weekend before last, or was it last weekend? I'm so confused on what days it is right now. Weekend before last was the Sealy Outdoor Tournament. Leading up to that, I was actually catching fish really well, catching them really consistently, catching 20-pound bags of slot fish, getting close to some overs every once in a while, getting a lot of really healthy, big, fat unders. I had some guys catch some overs in the Sealy, had some guys catch some really good unders, catch some good checks. Both guys that fish guide trips with me and people that subscribe to the Fish Life app both did really well during that tournament. But somehow or another, during that 3 or 4 days, that 3 days that I stayed away from Lake Fort, the groups of fish that I was fishing every day on my guide trips really scattered and moved around on me, and I struggled last week to find them. I had to hunt and peck. Finally, at the end of the week, started kind of redialing it in, and it just hasn't really come back together as good as it was. We are starting to catch a little bit better quality fish again, but certainly not consistent. You have to cover ground. You have to... It's really weird because you got to fish really fast and cover a lot of water, and then when you find them, you got to fish really thorough. Like, it's just hard. Like, you got to be on your game. If you miss a bite, or if I have a customer that doesn't feel a bite and then we don't stop in that area, we may miss one of the few groups of fish that we were going to catch that day. So everything just has to line up, and you have to be on your game right now. It's not easy to get it done. But there is fish to be caught, and there's, like I said, the quality fish are starting to kind of group back up, so it's getting better. And I got to tell you, we got a cold front coming. And guys, what? Mark my words right now. Mark my words right now. After this cold front right here, there will be groups of fish that will start to gather offshore. The bait will gather offshore. There will be groups of big fish, small isolated groups of big fish will start to gather offshore. Also, more fish will get grouped up better. They'll get in a better group. They'll get tighter in the backs of these creeks, in the backs of these grass flats with all the scattered grass. And that is going to kick off the beginning of the fall bite. The beginning of the fall bite is a week away. So we're going to talk about some baits tonight. This is what we're going to use for this weekend. But if that cold front comes a day early or something like that and you're fishing on Sunday, all this might be useless. Because what's going to happen over the next 5 days, 4 days, is going to change everything about the way the patterns are going right now. That's part of fall fishing. You have to be on your toes. You have to be willing to change at a moment's notice. I made a mistake the week after the Sealy's. It took me several days to adjust. I was being hard-headed. I'd been catching them so well that I got stuck in my ways and I stuck with what I was doing. And it really hurt me that week. I did not catch them as well as I should have. And I apologize to all my customers from that week. I was not at the top of my game, you might say. But we all had, it seems like, I don't remember any bad trips that week. We had a good time. The fishing is what it is. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. We all have the good ones and the bad ones. But I just pride myself on every day working as hard as I can to try and keep people around quality fish and help them catch them any way I can. So let's break into these baits. If you do like to catch bigger fish, and they're already biting this bait, and after this cold front, this bait will shine even more. And with the water being a little bit low in most of our lakes right now, and there being some exposed wood that you can see, this is really this is arguably going to be the most effective bait through this fall period unless we get a flood of some sorts, and then that'll change things. But the Movement 80X, the one you saw hanging off my hat at the beginning of the video right there, the 6th Sense Movement 80X, a really shallow diving crankbait with a really extremely hard wobble, a lot of vibration, and the big thing is the deflection qualities. With all this, the water being down where you can see the wood, you can see all the hardwood cover, the flooded brush, all that kind of stuff. God dang it, man, I swear. Like a monkey messing with a football in here sometimes. Y'all know what I'm saying? I apologize for that. I caught my charging cord to my phone as I moved my rod over to get it out of the way there. My bad, party people. Anyway, you can steer that bait into flooded bushes like you saw us do on Lake of the Pines in this week's video. Standing timber, and when that bait comes along and that timber standing there and that bait comes along and it bounces and it goes boom and it bounces off of it, man, that just triggers bites from big fish that not hardly anything else will do. That's a bite from a fish, a big fish that you're not gonna catch without that kind of reaction on that kind of bait. So it's a bait that I firmly believe in going forward. You can start throwing it now. It's not gonna catch a lot of fish right now, but it is gonna catch your better quality fish on most days. And it's a good bait to have tied on from now throughout the rest of the fall. See if I can get around to this one right here. Oh, Lord. I've really got to organize this better. I wanted to be in my garage again, but my wife has taken over my garage because she is doing a garage sale for the next couple days, and I'm going fishing. Number 2, another hard bait. Another vibrating bait, that 1/4 ounce lipless crankbait. This is a player right now, guys. This is a bait to have in your hands right now. Yes, it's going to catch small fish. It also catches quality fish as well. Anytime you're around those massive groups of small bait, this is a bait you want to have tied on. Also, when you're covering a ton of water, this is a bait you can fish really fast, and they'll still bite it when you fish it really, really, really fast. So make sure that you have this tied on for when you're trying to cover water to locate these groups of fish that seem to be moving around quite a bit right now. They're starting to try and settle back in, but they're still moving around. They're still spread out. So that's a great bait, and you don't miss many fish. Usually when they slap at that thing with those little bitty treble hooks, you at least hook them up for a little bit, even if you end up losing them. It'll let you know there's fish there for sure. That's a bait that you need to have ready to go. Another bait I'm a big fan of right now because it's real efficient, and this is a common pattern, right? I can fish it efficiently. I can cover a lot of water. That's something you got to do right now. We're going to say that a lot tonight. But the little small Smash Tail Junior with a little underspin, this is supposed to be a 3-aught hook. It's a 5-aught hook. As you can see, it's kind of damaging my tail. I ran out of 3-aught hooks. I'm going to have to pick some more up in the morning. But just the white ice color and the little swim baits with a owner flashy swimmer underspin is a great bait to throw right now. A really good bait to throw right now up shallow and all that scattered grass. It's real efficient because you can fish it through anything you want to. You can throw it matted grass, lily pads, scattered grass, stumps. It doesn't matter. And you can chunk and wind it and cover some water. Uh-oh. Must have lost the signal here. What happened? Let me know what's going on. You can hear me, but the picture froze up. I don't know why. Okay, let me restart this. Y'all hang tight. I'm going to restart it.